If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like and comment on the videos. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, let's go. Hello, Billy Ho here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Before we get started, a couple of announcements. We're still a little slow on the subscriptions here, trying to get to 250 subscribers to run our free contest. It's a free contest. Subscribe to the channel. I don't know how I would do it, so once our goal is met, we're going to run this contest, whether it's week 12 or whatever. So a little frustrated with the slowness. I did lose internet for a couple of days, so I wasn't as active on Twitter and Instagram and all that shit too. So it's on me too. But 250 subs, let's get it done. Share the love, share the word at Billy Ho Sports on Twitter. Follow the link in the description. It says hashtag Twitter. Go on there, subscribe to the channel, leave your username, DraftKings username, and I will invite you to the contest once we run it. So I just really need a way to DM you privately to get Cash App information. Okay, so week 6 is our first week of buys. We have 11 games on the main slate. So be sure to stick around because this is quarterback show. So I'm going to be talking quarterbacks, and there's a couple toward the end that I think you'll be interested in. So let's check it out. And, of course, with quarterbacks, you always want to find your highest total games. I don't care if it's road or home, be honest with you, favorite or not. Actually, I'd kind of prefer to be an underdog because maybe you're behind and your quarterback's going to throw more. But guys like Josh Allen don't matter whether they're favored by 50 or favored by 2 or underdogs. Him, Tom Brady, Mahomes, they're just all their offenses are just going to throw it. So let's take a look, see what we're working with. Of course, we're going to start up top with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes in the game together. So, I mean, do we need to look? Let's look for fun. He only threw 31 times, but he threw for 420. Of course, you start the game off with 98 yards passing and a touchdown, and you're going to break the slate. He's not doing that again, y'all. I mean, he's probably more between 24 and 30. He can still throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. He ain't throwing just 31, but he ain't throwing 63. I like this 38 number here. He still cracks 30 DraftKings points. I mean, I don't see how you don't. That's 4X. If you could 4X an 8K guy, you're playing him. So just play him. Him and Mahomes. Mahomes doesn't have quite the weapons that Allen does, but he throws it 40 times and he finds, of course, he threw all 4 to Kelsey this week, but he can still find a way to get other guys involved, Valdez-Scantling and Juju, guys like that, Hardman. He's just going to cobble together. But you're pairing him with Kelsey. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. Lamar I find interesting as the sandwich guy in here, and he might go slightly overlooked because everybody's just going to pay for Allen and Mahomes, which rightfully so. And after a back-to-back not good weeks for Lamar, people might start forgetting about him a little bit. So at New York, he can run. That's the problem. Well, he's still running, but the problem is it's just less possessions, less efficiency. The Buffalo game was in that rain soaked game that I faded, and then you had the interdivisional battle Cincinnati. They always have those 19-17 type games. Cincinnati's defense is very tough. So, and they were also missing wide receiver Bateman, who they may have back. So keep an eye on that. But I like Lamar. I mean, I think he can still have a safe floor. I think his floor is better than 15. I think he gets it. I think he's closer to 20. But these other guys are going to have probably the better floors. I'd say Allen and Mahomes are probably 25, but they got similar ceilings, and the ownership might be there. The next one's Kyler Murray. This might finally be the week with a soft defense that he can actually get loose. He's been knocking on the door, barking at the door, whatever you want to call it, with 1 to 2 touchdowns, the 42 yards rushing. This could be a week, especially if Connors misses. Maybe he gets 70 or 80 yards rushing and that rush TD. That's what he really needs to do. He's just not doing that because he doesn't throw for 400 yards and multiple touchdowns. He has to have those rushing yards and a rushing touchdown upside. So keep an eye on Murray playing at Seattle, one of your higher total games. This guy, Joe Burrow, is a guy I'm going to consider heavily if T. Higgins is back. I think it's going to be an if then. If T. Higgins is back, then I'm going to play Joe Burrow. So that's pretty much it because I don't want to depend on Boyd and Hurst and those guys. I want Chase and Higgins side by side to get it out there. He still had 18 DraftKings points. Of course, he got the rushing touchdown, which is a rarity. That's probably the only reason he got there. So we'll see what happens. I might run. I was really disappointed in Tom Brady. I went almost all in on him. He did everything I wanted. And shout out to Jose, who said he had a finger problem. The Squirrel Man on our Discord. He threw it 52 times for 351 yards. I don't know that the finger wasn't the issue. It was just a lack of, I don't know, maybe red zone efficiency. I didn't really see enough of the game to know. But when you throw for 351 and you only get one passing touchdown, and they only scored 21 points at home versus Atlanta, they had a couple of botched opportunities, I would say, at least. But he still got 22 points. I mean, one more touchdown and he was gravy, So I expect him to throw for well over 300 yards. You just saw what happened to Pittsburgh last week. But I do think Pittsburgh at home again will come out with a little more pride. So Brady's just up $300 to 6,300. He's got to be in consideration with all his weapons. I'm out on Stafford. That offense is broken right now. Out on Rodgers. Cousins is a thought because he is down to 6K, which makes him more manageable. And he still does have Jefferson. And I like Irv Smith this week versus a Miami defense that seems to give it up to tight ends. So I'm interested in that. I don't know, maybe Dalvin Cook gets rushing like he did last week because Cousins was real close. I mean, he was 296 yards and a touchdown, 4 yards and a TD away from a 30-point week. He still had massive. Of course, he got a rushing touchdown to make up for that. So, but the 300-yard bonus would have put him up there. So I do like Kirk Cousins somewhat, but if you go down to 5,700 here, Arizona doesn't scare me at all, and Geno Smith is on a flat-out roll right now. I mean, he is like just slotted himself right into Russ Wilson territory. So was Russ Wilson a product of the system? I don't know, but pretty damn efficient on 25 attempts, 268, 3 touchdowns. I mean, damn. I don't know if he that's the only worry about Geno is that if he doesn't throw it 30 times, then he might not get there for you. So, but he's in play. I don't think I will chase Trevor Lawrence, the bounce back. He had such a good game at home against Indy several weeks back, but he's just blah to me right now. So Bridgewater is going to be the backup. He's out. Jimmy G, I have interest in just the fact that he throws, he's going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 passes, and he's going to get like 250 and hopefully a couple of touchdowns. So, and if he can hit Debo for a long one, then that's good too, like he did the week before against LA. He's got Ayuk, he's got Kittle, he's got all the weapons necessary for a big week. So we'll see. Now, getting down here a little bit, and I don't know that I would have any interest in this mid five range. Brissett is awful. Jameis, I don't know if he's back at practice in a limited fashion Wednesday. So making progress. He's still got the back issue with the fractures and whatnot. So I don't know. And an ankle injury. Ugh, I had to pass on that. Make him show me something. That game doesn't look like a very high scoring affair to me. So I might be out on that. I don't want any of these other guys. I'm not playing Dalton. Danny Jones, though, we get down to 5,200. I think Daniel Jones against Baltimore is kind of interesting because he has been running the ball. He's gotten over 20 yards a game. So that, if he gets you 20 yards, that just makes a 4-point touchdown into a 6-point touchdown. So I don't know if but he's always a threat to call his own number and run one in. So, he can also have long runs. I mean, he's had 20-yard runs and 17-yard runs. So if he gets somewhere around 40 yards rushing and a touchdown, you're in there because I think he can throw. Bad thing is I don't know. He's not throwing for 300, but for 5,200, he could get you to 20, which is all you really need. So keep on the lookout for that. The last guy I probably want to talk about, Taysom Hill, chase that if you want to. He's also questionable with something, ribs. So he had the same injury last week, not that big a deal. But I don't know that he's going to run for this kind of production again. I mean, he just broke off long runs on Seattle. He's not doing that to Cincinnati, so I'm out on him. Pickett is the last guy. I think he can throw. I don't know if he's throwing it 50 times, but he could throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game easily, and they lose 35-14. So Kenny Pickett's going to be in the player pool this week. I think an extra week of practice with the first team and getting his arm loosened up last week in a blowout. He got his first baptism by fire. Feel pretty good about Pickett. So that's going to do it for the QB show. The next show, we're going to cover tight ends. So see if we can find some low-owned gems, somebody different. Don't forget to sub to the channel. I apologize if I was a little rude, but I really need the help to get to the 250 so we can run a contest so you can win money. I mean, it's a free contest, and you're going to have a shot to win $200 or 30 for second, 20 for third. It seems like a no-brainer to me. So spread the word. And until the next time, we'll see you soon. And thanks for watching.